What is up, Generals? We are back with Ultimate General Civil War, and this is the J&P Rebalance Mod Major General Civil War playthrough when we are heading into Day 2 of Gettysburg. Now, I've made some changes to Lee's 2nd Corps, who will be fighting the majority of, well, probably all of the fighting today. And going into the battle, Lee's corps was just a big solid block of infantry up here and then all the supporting crap down meow. I've done a little bit of digging into the battle, and it does appear as if you maybe don't get all your units. So what I've done is I've pushed all the supporting stuff up. The artillery has been pushed up. Some of the skirmishers have been pushed up. The dragoons I consider to be like a nice-to-have addition to this battle. So like if they come, great. If they don't, I'll manage. And then I just threw a bunch of extra infantry down at the bottom of 5th Division. I'm sure I'll need them, tomorrow or later on in the fighting or whatever. But if all I end up getting is just the 4 divisions here, or hell, even the 3 divisions, I'll have at least a competent fighting force. Other thing I've done is I've brought in from I Corps, I brought over the 7th Siege Gun Battery, and from 3rd Corps I brought over the Texas Long Rifles. I bumped them back up to 300 men as well. As well, I think a lot of my 2,000-man 1-star units had been down here. I pushed them up because I imagine the opening part of this battle is a little bloody, and I wanted to have these be the ones that kind of received the blunt of that bit of fighting. So going into the battle, we're going to have 2 20-pound Parrott units and 1 siege gun battery. You'll notice this is a very long-ranged artillery package, and don't you love it when work pops in to say hey? All right, where was I? You'll notice that this is kind of a long-range artillery package, and I think I'm actually going to go ahead and bring in a smoothbore unit or something. Something to deal with infantry. Plagues, Parrots, James. I like James's. Yeah, James are good. Alright, what do I take out? Another infantry. I'll drop them. 4th Division. So Kentucky's good. Let's drop the 1st VA out. Oh, they're going to pick up their 3rd star, theoretically. Let's take 25th. They're doing fine. Then we'll bring over a James unit. We'll put the James unit. Where did you end up getting dropped? 4th Division. Good. Let's just, guarantee that you come, though, and put you in 3rd. Yeah, that should be okay. So it a little bit upsets kind of what I had. I thought it looked very pretty. But this should be good, because I think we should at least get the first 4 divisions to show up, and then if they don't, we'll figure it out. Something got pulled out. There's 2 units shy now. No, just 1 actually. Alright, so I want to make sure that Fiasco's units got the right numbers on the off chance that they show up here, but I reckon they won't. Alright, so the general schema of operations, the reason that I like Lee for this is that this is a battle that involves a little bit of maneuver. This is also Lee's corps has always been kind of the corps I bring up new recruits in, so that's why all the new divisions or new brigades are here. So I think today we're fighting over here on the very bottom of the field. We're going to try and take, I think, the 2 round tops from the Union. And then the dream here is not blah, blah, blah. Yeah, whatever. The dream is not to win here, because I have a worry that if I do, everything I've seen about going to the 4th day seems like they need to have the tops. So with that being the case, what we're going to do is try and do as much damage as possible, but we're not really all that worried terribly much about the flags. We do want them. There's a recon point somewhere over there. Okay, the rest of them are all walking. We're going to get some more up top. We got the general coming in. He's going to join. And then we have another skirmisher unit. Oh, that's right. Where the hell is this? Like here, maybe? So there's some vital terrain that I'm interested in. And you'll notice here that there is also defensive emplacements if we wanted to try and take up positions and have the Union kind of go on the attack. We could, yeah, there it is. We could try and kind of do that too. We could blast them into submission. But there's not really any reason for them to go on the offensive. So why would they? We need to find some reason to goad them into that kind of an attack. It's garbage anyway. You know, I'm saying all this and I'm having ideas. So I watched some of the other videos of people trying to take on this battle, and they were all doing this in the UIAI mod, or they were doing this in not the Rebel, and they, like Panda in particular, had a really great play through this battle, and he came around here in his entire army and then set up here and fought the Union, and that's fine. And I'm kind of having another idea about how to approach this. I'm trying to figure out how to like vocalize what I'm thinking about. So I've tried to test playthrough this battle. It went pretty terribly, insofar as it was just very expensive from a manpower perspective. And so I'm kind of having another thought. Instead of just ignoring this whole section of the battlefield and letting them kind of do whatever they want here, I'm kind of wondering if I don't try and pincher them. And the specific part that I'm worried about is there's a battery of artillery here and some skirmishers in this general vicinity, and they cause just no end of frustration. And so I would imagine a 20-pound battery, a Parrott battery or whatever from here, can probably reach about as well. I mean, they're certainly going to reach farther if they're up there. But what the hell's a Parrott battery? They don't like. That's useless to me. That's a great it's a great place theoretically for a battery, but it does me no fucking good. Can't. There's Union troops here, but why do I care? Why do I care? Because they're not really guarding terrain I care about. That's the issue. I don't really have any need to operate in the open. This terrain here is certainly fun and interesting to fight over, but does me no good as far as the battlefield position is concerned. These artillery positions are too far back. They're fine in the vanilla game, because from here you can just reach out to about here or something, but they're going to do no good in the Rebel. And there's no reason for the Union to go on the offensive, so they're just not going to. Sure, I could blast this stuff into smithereens, but, like, why? Why would I? To what end? What's the point? That's kind of what I keep coming back to. This is great defensive terrain. Man, I'm having some weird, interesting kind of thoughts about alternative ways to approach this battle. Okay, so this is going to be an interesting episode. If we don't want the flag anyway, bear with me here while I think this out. If we don't want the flag anyway, maybe we can fight this in the traditional way. These troops here, these members of looks like it's mostly 1st Division and then parts of 2nd. These troops here keep on going on the attack. I don't need a shitload here. Once I kind of secure this terrain, I can then advance That's an interesting thought. Well, I mean, whatever. Let's try this out. I don't know. I don't want to just keep on parroting the strategies I see other folks use. So let's try and make this up as we go and see what shakes out. I'm trying. So let me... What a messy opener. I think that we want to inflict as much damage as possible on the Union, and I am content to do so on ground that does not involve me being all gimmicky. So if they've got all these troops here, and every time I've tried to run the practice on this battle, it ends up being just a mess again and again. So I definitely don't want to be that far forward. That's just asking for trouble. But we can certainly be here. I spend half the battle maneuvering into position just to get everything, you know, down here in the corner. Just to occupy terrain that I'm not entirely sure is really worth occupying. And so what it's got me thinking is, why don't we fight here? Why don't we fight this in kind of the traditional way? And see what that does. I still don't see any reason whatsoever to put my troops in these little, to put the batteries in these little fucking buckets. It's just, it's not good. They're too far forward. That one's kind of okay. I figure that one's fine. But if the goal here is to inflict damage, then let's inflict damage. And I ultimately want these troops that are down here, I ultimately want these guys up here. Okay. So what we're running into now is that what I'm currently envisioning is a general engagement. This is going to stretch my troops thin, but we get enough. It's a general engagement, and then ultimately I'm drawing the line essentially like this. And I'm using maybe the river here, maybe that's going to be fighting into trees. You don't want to do that. I'm going to have to try and use these houses. I need to freeze them out of this terrain in particular, because then I can create kind of a static front line that looks from here north and then continue to try and take that. But what I do like about this is we can just keep on blasting the ever-living shit out of the Union here, and we've got pretty good terrain to do it with, too. Once everything gets into position, I'm going to feel a lot better about it, obviously. I'd prefer, for example, that the 19th be in these trenches and the 23rd be in those, etc., etc. And then you guys can just kind of be there. Are you trading well? You're trading fine. I wouldn't call it great, but it's fine. Okay, and then this is bringing them out into a general engagement. I kind of like that. I like that there's a general engagement going on here. I'm already taking some losses. Good to know. Wait, you're skirmishers. There's no reason for you to be there. Yeah, they're fine. Brigadier General Charles Graham is wounded. Yeah, because he just got freaking pummeled. Alright. Well. This is a lot more exciting than me walking around. Colonel Alan Pryor. Yeah, that's not surprising. The poor 51st has been kind of in it for a minute now. Okay. I gotta say I'm actually a little more excited about this battle plan. It sounds like it's more kind of linear and boring. I get that part. Blast them into smithereens, but I like it. I like it. It's fine. It's good. We do need to find some way to like convince them to come out of their trenches, and that part's going to be a little harder, I would imagine. Yeah, you can keep going there. That's fine. I was going to say, you've got to be in range. You might not be. This isn't like super good cover. Let's just fucking stand on the house, dude. It's probably better to cover than the fence line. And that is one of the issues, though. There's not really anything to strongly compel them to come out of their trenches, so we're going to need to sort of violently encourage them to leave, so to speak. Okay, so how do we do this? I know we're going to lose a lot of speed coming up through here, but now I'm not as worried about speed. So okay. Yeah, that should be okay. What I really don't want to happen is I don't want them to get like really engaged or entrenched in this piece of terrain. So I do for sure want to do what I can to get there as quickly as practical. Actually, yeah, the three of these guys should take care of that just fine. You are helping? Not yet. You can't get there. Yeah, better cover in just the house. That's fine. It's not stupendous cover. Okay. Skirmishers there. Well, I guess we will blast the snipe the cover. Blast people out of their cover, but we're not going to want to do that while the cannon's still in place. So we want the snipers down here where they're going to be useful, I guess. The artillery's doing its job as far as that part's concerned. Ooh, you know what? The snipers could do some really great work down here. Approach. Alright, we need to wait until we can hit them kind of all at once. What the fuck are you doing? You're a counter battery unit. Shoot counter battery stuff. Take out one of these two batteries, or we just get to the point where we've got some degree of supporting fire coming from above. If I can wrap them from enough, the 52nd Florida Militia should be able to wrap them, even though they've got 0-point stats. Should be able to wrap them from enough different directions. Like, that's super unfortunate, but I'm perfectly content to let them shoot one-star troops in the open than I am. It's not going to be an issue a whole lot longer. here. We're winning the gun duel with Clark. Alright. Smith Mark II is not long for the world. This is going to take ages. I do realize that. And then once I have the opportunity to do so, I think I'm going to need to collapse on this position pretty quick. Because they're going to get those reinforcements up there. And all I really want to do there with 2nd Corps, or 2nd Tennessee, is just see them. Because 3-star units are certainly worrisome. But I'm not going to... I wasn't able to beat them there in any of my test attempts at this battle. So I think we're just not going to try. I think we're just not going to try. If it's not practical, let's not do it. And if all Chamberlain does, like, I really hope Chamberlain and Vincent come out and try and fight in the main army. I hope they don't try and occupy these two, or whatever trenches may exist in the woods here. If they try and fight me in the open, I can I can work on, you know, isolating them or otherwise injuring them or something. It's the opposite of what you want, dude. Just want to keep an eye on them. Just know where they're going. You gotta watch them. That's the biggest issue. But you don't really need to worry too much about fighting them. Perfect. All right, we're doing well in that regard. Knock out that battery. Then we can kind of go on the attack here. These guys are still taking forever to get in position. And again, I get it. That makes sense. They're walking through some pretty dense hills, and they're going uphill, and this is perfect. This is perfect. They're not really collapsing down around the flag. I want these guys out in the open. That's also perfect. Whittling away Clark. This is good. This is good. How many more guns do they have? 14. So this represents pretty much all of it that I can see. All right, good. Nope. Keep on going. Don't rest up. Hurry up. Get into cover. Perfection. Guys, you were doing great. You were doing so good. Very happy with the performance so far. Especially for 1-star troops, being asked to do kind of a lot of hard stuff. They're doing great work. Oh my gosh, it's been so good. This is much better than trying to grind this out. Or I think it's going better anyway than trying to grind it out. I don't know how excited I am about trying to fight. Just need to get, like, Stratton in particular. He's got, looks like, repeaters or something. I need to worry about him. But we need to close that gap. We need to get Ward out of his trenches. Perfect. Perfect. Everyone's doing great. You're all doing wonderfully. All doing fantastic. Fantastic. Oh, so good. So good. Really, really happy with the Army today. Really happy with how everything's doing. Actually, now Lee gets to go be, or not Lee, 4th Texas gets to go be a spoiler over here. Let's see if we can figure out where Chamberlain is. It's just now Clark. There's not a lot of Clark left. So that's blasting Graham into the dirt. There's Chamberlain. Wonderful. Okay. These good fortifications as far as that's concerned. Let's get you back into the woods as well. We're able to kind of collapse our front a little bit. That's very good. I think that would be a pretty okay place. Nice and central. Yeah, that's good. The house would be okay too, actually. Cover 200, cover 150. Yeah, let's go to the house. If you're gonna be that far forward anyway. Back off with 3rd. They're not really doing anybody any good there. Still need to get Clark out of here and then start blasting Brewster into smithereens. But 3rd's done their job. They've done really well. These troops have just done fantastically. Super, super happy. Just ecstatic with the performance here. And it's one of the really cool things about kind of doing this is I don't think that I was able to really kind of do anything that was all that gimmicky. I really have to use the terrain and try and get back. I have to just do some traditional stuff. All right, actually, I hate to do this because it seems hyper-focused, but nuke Trep or whatever. Just destroy them. Yeah, that's fine. Graham got in his trenches. This is great. We're really able to punish Chamberlain and Vincent. They're out in the open. They're coming uphill. It's just really bad for them, which is just excellent. We do need to get Texas putting some punishment on Graham. What are we doing? Shooting Brewster? That's fine, I guess. Oh, interesting. They have trenches here, too. Well, that's not going to go well for them. Maybe I would hope that won't go well for them. Yeah, there you go. Get out of here. It's trading well, considering it's 1-star units trading with 3 stars. That's good as far as I'm concerned. Fall back to 45th. Actually, we want to get 45th in a position to go on the offensive here. You do not need to run. That's my bad. Very, very happy with the performance of the Army today. Oh my goodness. They're doing great. Just great. There's Trep. Okay, good. He's out of the woods, so to speak. Good cover. Let's actually take 15th, push them there. And if we can start pushing up into this, what is this orchard here? If we can start pushing up into there, that's a much better position to be in. All right, no rest for the wicked. What is this? What is this little pop-up I got? Is this something from a different app? All right, let's play this out, and then I'll pause when we have the break, and we'll get kind of going, I guess. All right, let's sketch out what we got going on. I think this is actually coming along far better than I initially expected it to. I kind of really didn't think this was going to go well. I got to figure out what I want to do over here. One of the things that I think is pretty nifty, though, is we're lapping the Union here, and they're kind of really out of position at this point. I am like perennially out of supply wagons just all the time, though. Okay, so what do I want to do? How do I want to... I need to fix... I'm not that worried about Brewster. He's a 1-star unit. Graham is pretty small. I am worried about Stroughton and his equivalent Trep, which is up here somewhere. Chamberlain and Vincent I'm less worried about now. They're out in the open and kind of disadvantageous terrain, so that's good for me. Graham is kind of going to be a problem getting into that flag, but it's mostly okay. And we're just grinding these units down. I mean, they're going to make us kill them. Of that, I'm nearly sure, and that's fine. Yeah, so let's actually get there and really just engage Brewster in every direction. That's a pretty good spot for 20-pounders, too, actually. It's not terrible. I can think of better places to have the battery, I suppose, but this isn't the end of the world, man. You know, that's no good. Yeah, these skirmisher units have got to go. They are a real problem. There's Trap. You can be there as far as I'm concerned, only one, so I'm not worried about that. All right, so the dream now is kick Graham out of there, take over the main little round top, and then just punish everything here for just existing. This is just terrible terrain to attack over, though. God damn. Ah, that's so punishing. Ugh. Push Lee up there, keep the troops motivated or whatever. Brewster can't hope to keep that up forever, and the second he breaks, I'm going to send 15th and maybe even 23rd screaming in there. Brigadier General Hobart Ward, great name. How we doing? There he goes. All right. Just take those. Those are ours now. So what happens is you're going to end up there, and you're going to end up like there, I think. And then you'll be there. And then I guess we'll try and do the same thing with Trebizond. Or not Trebizond. Trobriand. Excellent. Fantastic. Push up. You take his place, but you push up with them. You get in there and keep them moving. We are taking some losses, absolutely, but this is really not as bad as it could be. Get them perked up again, and then we'll get in there. I'll tell you what, these skirmishers have been a real pain in the butt. They have probably been the single greatest source of, aside from maybe the 3-star units, the single greatest source of concentrated casualties we've suffered so far. So they're really doing their job from that perspective. In fact, let's give third a break. They really kind of been punched in the face a lot. All right, so now we do the same thing for Trobriand. Shoot them. You get into position, and then I'll tell you to shoot Trobriand. Excellent. Yeah, understandable. They just got reamed a second ago. Can't keep that up forever, though. That's a lot of punishment coming his way. And in fact, we should sort of reinforce that this is no longer his to have. Confederates. Yeah, I've got to give the credit to the troops here. They've done just really phenomenal work. It's really great. Oh gosh, yes. Get in there. It's ours now too. Who's charging? It's probably here. I'm charging in a really weird direction, so we got that. God damn! Oh, good Christ. These freaking skirmishers are punching well above their weight class and need to go. Need to go. Let's clean up our house a little bit. I'm not kidding. Those are your most important target right now, for real. You can probably go back into your parent. You can get pushed up. Where's a good place? Probably also go there. Same reason, same thought process. Alright, and now I'm occupying Union territory. They're attacking the Round Top. This is actually great. I'm trading much more effectively here because Trep's out in the open. There's some ill-advised charging occurring. I can't quite be sure where. Looks like Vincent is going to just try and charge across the map. Seems appropriate. Good job, Fifth. Really, really well done to the Confederates. Just a interesting kind of change. I know I kind of pulled a last-minute swap there on kind of how I wanted to approach this battle, but I gotta say I really can't argue with the results. Let's get Strout just out of here. He needs to go. Incredible that they're still coming. It's just crazy pants. There you go. Colonel Vincent Strong, or Strong Vincent. Actually, either name would work, wouldn't it? Okay, so now the question, do I try? So I've got pretty good defensive terrain right now. I bet, however, that I could do even better. This creek is, ooh, I didn't know it was a swamp. Oh, ho, ho. Oh, ho, 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 ho. In fairness, there's absolutely no reason for the Union to ever come to this terrain, so they're probably not going to. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Interesting. Our artillery's still moving up. But that makes this very interesting defensive terrain. Actually, you're probably fine there. You move up. Who's doing okay? You've taken 33 losses, 25, 0. You go there. Who's the 33? You're going to go there. We're going to support you some. You're probably fine there. Where are you going? You need to come way up. That should be good. It should be okay for the siege, actually. Oh, great. Actually, these guys probably need to be there. All right, so now we just milk this for kills and try and do as much damage as we can. You don't need to run. It's okay. The rest of the army isn't, so there's no reason for you to do it. And I got to figure out what these Trep and Stroughton are using, because they are just doing great work. It's probably, you know, they keep telling me, Johnny and Panda, they keep telling me that carbines have been given kind of a little bit of love, and this is probably what that is, but, ooh boy. 45th Texas. This is a relatively young unit. They're doing great work. Look at this. Look at how much of this battlefield we have kicked them out of at this point. Holy shit. You know, one of the stated goals, the mod is to kind of make it so that some of the gimmicky side stuff isn't really as viable. And man, I mean, talk about mission accomplished. I've had more success with this approach than the other one, and this was just approaching the map kind of more traditionally. So cool. So cool. If we breach the ridges, we will encircle the enemy and force them to withdraw from the battlefield. It is worth the risk to continue the attack. So that sounds to me like hold your ground, but probably don't take the second hill, because I do. Well, maybe I can take this. There's no flag. The flag's over there. So I'm going to for sure let them have that flag. If we breach the ridges south of Cemetery Hill, we will force them to withdraw from the field. So if I have this one, will that have been considered breaching? So like as long as I let them have that one, for sure, I can take up to here, because this is great terrain. Right around there. It's worth the risk to continue the attack. Oh. Oh, that's no good. Oh, that's no good at all. Barnes Division. Yeah, whatever. We can now use our forces to flank. Oh, that's really not good. Oh, that's really not good. Okay, so we for sure do not want to take this flag. Because I want this battle to keep going. I want to go to day 3. I want Pickett's charge, etc., etc. Oh, boy. I got to find out how to get myself out of that mess. Man. I got to find out how to get myself out of that mess, because that is not going to be good. Not going to be good at all. Oh, boy. I'm perfectly content, however, to destroy all of this stuff. Absolutely. Let's just kill all of it. Good God. 3 stars, 3 stars, 3 stars, 3 stars. Holy shit. Oh, guys, that is going to be fun. All right, I'm going to do a little bit of research off camera. I got to figure out if I hold what I've got, do I end the battle? Because I don't want to do that. If I have to give this flag up, I will. And I'll try and find other terrain on which to fight, but I really don't want them to feel comfortable here, because they're just going to be able to just blast away and trade very effectively. I do, however, feel pretty confident about all this, especially now that I'm moving forces down here to cover my soft approach. I do kind of know that they get some reinforcements right about meow. So, yeah, let me get off camera, and then I'll figure out how to fix that and get rid of this over here. And, oh, boy. We just got to work on... because this is all just infantry. So I'm not super worried about that. Artillery is still getting into position. Got that recon point. We can see basically everything, and that part's really cool. So yeah, just got to figure out how to get myself out of this sticky situation. Oh dear. Yep, just keep falling back, buddy. One way or the other, we'll figure this out. I think justifiably the AI is suddenly feeling a lot more confident in their ability to, hold. That's certainly appropriate for them to feel that way. So that's where all of these charges are all of a sudden coming from. Yep. So this should be interesting to manage, but that's going to be a great place for me to call it, because I got to do some research off camera and figure out how best to approach maximizing this battle. Because I'm perfectly content if it will let me go to day 3 to just kind of hold here. Just take what we've got and kind of claim it. And this is mine. You can't have, etc., etc. And we'll go from there. All right, cats. Hope you're having a good one. This is Fiasco. I will see you on the field in the next one. Signing out.